Alright guys, here we go. Doing our natural everyday look. So, it depends on how long I want this look to last or what weather I'm going to be in, this and that, you know. So today, we're going to start off with, first off, I need to moisturize. That is like key for me. If you don't have, I just washed my face. If you don't have a good base, you are not going to get a good makeup application. So I'm starting off with the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Water Gel Moisturizer. This one has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's really like thin consistency. So I do that first before I do my cream moisturizer. Just rub that all in. How's everybody's day today? I hope you guys are doing well. And if you are not and you need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out or comment, and I will try to comment back and make sure to at least engage with you. So I let that dry just a second, not too long. I mean, it's really, really thin. It's not going to hurt anything. And then I add Aveeno, the Everyday Daily Moisturizer. I use different moisturizers all the time. I have like Exfoliate, I have that's by Kate Somerville, I have Neutrogena Bright Boost. I have a couple of different ones. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Aveeno is more of like my everyday go-to. It helps me not break out. I have really sensitive skin, so if something makes me break out, I will let you guys know. So those of you who do have sensitive skin will understand to avoid that. Alright, so today we're going to start with the Suntouchable Whoa Glow. It has SPF 30 and it's a primer. It's from e.l.f. I love this. This stuff is amazing. The first time I used it like incorrectly. I didn't, whatever I put underneath of it, I didn't let it like dry enough and it just started pilling, but that was user error, not a problem with this stuff. Eventually you might hear somebody banging on my door. I have my grandson who's a year old and he doesn't understand when he can't come in here. So, and trust me, I would let him in, but chaos. He'll make a mess. It's crazy in here. So I'm rubbing that in. I like to put a lot. You don't have to put a lot. I just like how it feels. It's so smooth. So smooth. And it looks like it has a slight tint to it, but it's not that bad. And it, for those of us who do have some melanin in our skin, don't worry, it does not leave a cast. That was one of my biggest things. It looks like it will once you put it on and you're like, oh my god, no. But once you rub it in, you're good. If you see me looking past you, I have a huge mirror behind you guys, so sometimes I look into that. Anyways, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about me. Since this is my first video, some of you who are watching may know me already. That's fine. Sorry that you have to hear stuff you already know. But those of you who don't know me, I work in education, in special education. Next year I think I might be transitioning to a new position, so it won't be just special education anymore. It'll be more gen ed. I think I put a little bit too much. I'll be working with children who are having behavioral issues, who are having a hard time basically just navigating middle school and finding their way. Oh, there's that banging on the door. Can you hear him? He's gonna get mad in a minute. I'm just wiping off my lips. Make sure there's no dry skin or anything, so I can throw on. While I get dressed, I like to put on a moisturizer on my lips. I'm gonna put on the Tatcha lip mask the Kiss You lip mask. Just gonna put a little. Just to let that seep in as we're getting dressed to moisturize and plump up my lips. Because if your lips are crusty, dusty, and messy, your stuff ain't gonna work right, girl. Although I don't think we're doing much with our lips today. Alright, so now that the primer's on, I gave it a second to make sure it's dry. Let me feel. Let me give it a couple seconds more. Got some stuck in my nose right there. Weird. I'm telling you, I put way too much on. Okay, there. Maybe I should have cut down a little bit. But anyways, I work in education. I've been working in education. This is my 10th year, I believe. But I did start when I was 18. Excuse me, my voice is going out. And the first time I did it, I worked at an elementary school. I was only 18. Like, I didn't take it as serious back then. Like, obviously it was still something I liked and I enjoyed doing, and I loved working with the children. But as far as like attendance, like I didn't care. I was 18, you know. So I kind of ruined that opportunity. However, when I got older, I realized, you know, that was something I really enjoyed doing. I love to see kids' aha moments, like when you're working with them and they're having a hard time with something, and all of a sudden you see that light bulb turn on because they're just, I don't know, they get this expression on their face like, oh my gosh, I get it now. And that just feels amazing to me. And then on the other hand, the position I'm in, which was a paraprofessional or educational assistant, we get a lot of time where we can step away with kids. So if they're having a hard time, they can say, you know, hey, I need to go for a walk, or I'm not feeling great, like mentally or emotionally, can we step away and talk? Like, we have that opportunity to do that because the teacher's teaching. They don't have time all the time to stop in the middle of their lesson. Trust me, they wish they could too, but they have a whole classroom to worry about. So unless they can, you know, make an appointment with the kid and talk to them later, well, we can do it right in the moment. So that's my favorite part about my position, is we pull them aside and I get to do a lot of counseling, even though I'm not a counselor, but a lot of one-on-one. They tell me their problems, I tell them how I relate, give them advice on how I would handle the situation, or how I may have handled it back in the day and it didn't work out so well, giving them examples of what works, what could be beneficial to them, and understanding them, like truly listening and truly making them feel like they're heard and you know, understood. That's important. And that's how you build your relationships. And building relationships is key for education. A child is not going to listen to you. I'm sorry, they're just not. They may look like they're listening. They hear you for sure, but they may not be absorbing anything you're saying if they don't care about you. That's how I feel about it. So, sorry, I'm going on with the wrong one. Grabbing the wrong foundation because I'm talking. So what I like to do, I'm very weird. I like to get multiple things and mix them. So my Aveeno that I used a little while ago, I get a tiny little bit of that because I don't need a lot. Obviously, I already put some on. And I feel like that just thins it out a little bit. I like a thinner consistency when I'm just doing everyday. Then I use the Maybelline Dream BB Fresh. And this is a BB cream. This has so many benefits. You can do, it has 8 benefits. It blurs imperfections, enhances, brightens, adjusts skin tone, smooths, hydrates, help protect with SPF 30, and there's no oils or heavy ingredients. So I shake it a little bit and I add just a little. It's right up here. I can use that on its own too. It's a little cool tone for me, so that's why I add some foundation. Then we're going to go in with the Wet n Wild foundation, the Photofocus. And we're using the dewy one. And this one's in shade Caramel. Oh, the shade for the BB cream, sorry, I didn't mention that. The shade for the BB cream was 120 Medium Sheer. So the applicator on the Wet n Wild looks like this. So I just do a few swipes and add it there. I like to use my hand. I don't know. I mean, if you want to use it on the back of something, or if you have a mixing tray, that's fine. I just use my finger because I'm going to use my finger to apply it anyways. So why dirty something if I'm just going to use my finger anyways? I mix it all up. Looks like that. And I start plopping it on my skin. Alright. I know, it looks excessive, but that's how I do it. I have a towel next to me that I always use. This is clean. I've only used it like maybe once, but it's stained because it's white, and I always use it for the same thing, and then I wash it and, you know, swap it out. I just changed this one, so I know this one's perfectly clean. Alright, I use my hands, or I can use a brush. Either way. This is the brush that I would use if I do use a brush. It is Hank & Henry, and it's the Nikki brush. Mine's all dirty. This is one of the ones that I got on pre-sale, so he signed all my brushes personally. I love that. That is so amazing. At first I didn't want to use them, and I was like, that's stupid. Like, you have to use your brushes. And I'm glad I did, because this is my favorite brush to rub in foundation. So if I used my brush, I would go like this and just press and a little bit swipe, not too much, because I don't want to drag it. And that's what I would do. But because there's moisturizer in it, I'm not going to use my brush. I was just showing you. I'm going to use my hands. This helps it melt into the skin because of the moisturizer. You hear my grandson yelling at me? You hear him? Nana. He's so cute. He's for real yelling at me. He's like, Nana. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if you guys can hear him, but it's so cute. He's literally standing in the hallway. Nana. Hello. Nana. He's crazy. Oh my god. Do you guys have kids? Do you have grandkids? How are you liking that life? I love being a grandma. That's why he's yelling, because I pick him up. I love him. I watch movies with him. I play with him. So he's like, girl, why aren't you opening your door? What's going on here? I don't understand. It is not comprehensible to him. Like, Nana, what's the problem here? I don't understand. Alright, so after I do that, I usually go in with my concealer. I'm going to do e.l.f. It's the Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this one is in shade Medium Warm. I could go in with a light one, but I mean, I'm pretty, you can't tell on camera, but I'm a little darker. So this looks like it would be warm and dark, but it is not for me. Maybe for you, but it won't be for me. So I just put a little on my nose. That was the most crooked line I've ever seen. Little up here. Little down here. I go around my nose, and the reason I do that is because I get really bad allergies. So I am constantly, I mean literally constantly, cleaning my nose all day long. It's so annoying. Even with prescribed medicine, Put a little here, a little here, a little here, and a little there. And that's my application for that. I let that dry just a little. So what I like to do, golly, my voice keeps trying to go out. I wonder why. I don't feel sick or anything. Are we gonna do a bright blush today? No, we're gonna do just a basic brush, blush. Not basic, but a calmer one. So this one, I'm gonna start with the cream contour, and I do a dot on the bottom because I have them stored upside down. I do a dot on the bottom so I know what color I'm grabbing. I don't know, I'm weird. They're all stored in a little container. It's easy for me. So this one is Terracotta. I'm gonna throw the bronzer, and these are from Sheglam. I love these. A little bit here, a little bit here. Definitely some up here. As you guys can see, I got a 5 head. Some on the edges of my nose to get that contour. I feel a fuzzy on it or something. Might be a hair or something on my nose. Anyways, the bottom of my nose. This one smells like chocolate. I never noticed that before. God, it smells good. And then against my jawline. There we go. Just like that. I put a little bit under my lip. When I put that there, it creates a shadow and it kind of makes my lip look like it's pouty more. Tips and tricks, guys. Tips and tricks. And then the Sheglam blush, and this one's in Love Cake. It looks darker here than what it does when you put it on your face. I don't know why, it's so weird. But I'm actually going to wait to put that on until after I blend all this because I think I don't want to mess that up. Alright. I forgot to wet my beauty blender, so I'm just going to grab my Continuous Setting Mist by Morphe and hit my beauty blender really quick, just a little light, and squish it. Squish, spray, squish, spray. And then I'm turning it as I go, just because I don't want to have to get up in the middle of the video and go, you know, let it. You just need it moist anyways. You don't need it like super wet. So now I can feel it. It's plumped up a little and it's a little wet on the outside, okay? So there's that. Get this one out. This brush is by Lorella. I use this to blend out the contour on my nose. Is this the right brush? Yeah. And this one is another Hank & Henry. This is Trish. And I like to use this one underneath the eyes for the concealer sometimes, or around the mouth. I use my brushes all over. I'm a little weird. Alright, and then I'm going to use my foundation brush to blend out the darker areas first. And I don't mind using my foundation brush for it because my foundation, like I said, it is darker, and so it's not going to bother it whenever I use it again for foundation. Besides, I wipe my brushes off each time before the next day, and then wash them like once a week. Sometimes once every 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie. But you should definitely be washing your brushes, dude. Like, if you leave your brushes for a very, very, very long time without cleaning them, and you're having breakouts, that's why, sis. Or even if your makeup doesn't seem to be like working out right, you need to wash your beauty blender and wash your brushes, because your application's not going to be smooth if it's all caked up on your brush and beauty blender. Okay, so I blend that, and then I kind of bring it down. I drag it down my neck because I am a gorda and I do have a bit of a, what's that called? What's it called? Why can't I think of the word? You guys, I swear the simplest things escape me. I'm not dumb. I swear I'm not dumb. But things that I know, because I know them, they just like fly away. Double chin. That's what I was talking about. See? I knew it. Cali. Estúpida. My memory is so bad. I have really bad migraines. And we have some stuff like neurologically going on that I'm waiting on results for. I have no idea if it's just effects from my really bad migraines or what. But your girl's brain sometimes just don't work. I'll tell you. Alright, I'll do the nose contour next. And don't worry, if my concealer dries down too much, I can always spray with setting spray to reactivate it. So that looks really harsh. Don't worry, I'm going to put powder on later, so it's going to calm down. And I can do some more blending once I'm done blending all of the other stuff out. Any plans for the summer, guys? I'm not doing a damn thing. I have surgery next week. Most people aren't excited about surgery, but I'm so excited. I cannot freaking wait. They're taking my whole ass uterus out. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. You don't understand. I have like issues, girl issues. And I have them 24 fucking 7. Ooh, I just cussed. 24 effing 7. And dude, let me tell you, when you have that and more than once a month, it's so frustrating. It like literally takes over your whole life. And think about feeling tired, cramping. Cramps are ridiculous right now. Like ridiculous. All the time. They're just, I literally feel like I'm in labor. And I should know because I've had kids, so I know what it feels like. All the time. And lethargic, and then just moody, and constantly craving everything. I cannot afford to be craving everything. All this don't need to get no bigger. I mean, big girls are beautiful, but I don't want to get bigger. I mean, nobody wants to gain weight. Girl, it's a struggle. I love food. There's not many things I won't eat, honestly. There's a lot of things I want to try, too. But I haven't had the opportunity. Like, I want to try, like, elk and... what is it? Venison? It's deer, right? I still haven't tried lamb. Like, I have no idea what lamb chops taste like. I've tried duck once, but I'm not going to say it counted because somebody else who was with us tried it and they said, no, that's not what duck's supposed to taste like. So they said it wasn't prepared correctly. So I want to try duck that's prepared the right way. What else did I want to try? There's a lot of stuff. I just can't think of anything right now. See, the one under my eyes is pretty much dry. I hit my elbow. Don't you hate that? That's the worst. So I'm going to use the Morphe setting spray again. Just a quick. I don't know why I got so scared right now. Like as if I was spraying freaking acid on my face. I was like... Alright. I'm going to stipple underneath of there with my brush. Try to get in that corner really good. And I'm not dragging, I'm just stippling it and then coming over, hoping that it drags over. And I'll go over it with a beauty blender as well in a second. Looks like it got a little on my lid, which is no big deal. I'm going to put something that's similar in color on my lids in a minute anyways. Ah, poke myself in the eye. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Yeah, other than that, I'm your basic ass person. I don't do a whole lot. Don't really go out that much anymore. If I do go out, it's probably because there's karaoke somewhere. I could care less about the drinks. I want more to do with the singing. I love to sing. And no, I will not sing right now. You hear me trying to struggle to talk. Can you imagine what I would sound like trying to sing? No, thank you. I don't need anybody clowning on my singing. Okay, so that's all blended out. This one's a little harsh. Okay. Feel my hair. There's like a bird outside my window. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think they have a nest there. Because it sounds like babies like tripping for food. Weird. Okay, I'm going to go in with my powder. So I have a lot of different powders. You're going to see me using different ones at different times. I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier. This is the Translucent Honey. This one's a little pricey, I'm not going to lie. If I don't use this, I also have the Makeup Revolution. And I think it's their banana powder. But I poured it in because I poured it into this one right here. Because it was an old one that was done. It was an It Cosmetics one, and I finished it all the way. So I poured it in there so it would be easier access to it. I have a Sheglam one that I use. I love the Sheglam one. It's nice. But I'm not that dark right now. I'm really light because I'm indoors a lot because I'm not working because it's summer. But when I'm like during the winter time, I can use this around my face because I'm